excuse me, to come out of this thing. And I just think they should have done it before, much earlier than they're doing it now.
Right.
We're almost at the last, August 2nd, the last hour.
But Congress works. It's like when you were in college. You waited until the night before to study for your exam. But you cram.
Pull an all-nighter.
Yeah.
I mean, the President's Deficit Commission had a report in January that's basically the same thing as what the Gang of Six
And
is
everybody
talking about
rejected
now.
it.
Everyone put it on the shelf.
Yeah, nobody paying attention.
Simpson
But the
and
reality
Bowles.
is, what this Gang of Six is saying now is remarkably similar to the Bowles Simpson
Yeah.
plan. It's not quite as bold, but the reality, the fundamental reality is, I mean, you're looking at a nation with a debt now approaching $15 trillion. I don't even know if there's $15 trillion in the world. So
It's just a number, Fred. That's all.
Okay.
And
Yeah, you want to be
inter-
the Federal Reserve guy then.
An interesting
Because all
part
they do
of
is keep
that
printing more money.
is that the Chinese are holding a lot of our debt. They increase.
So are the Japanese and so are the
but
Brits.
The Chinese just recently, during this crisis, internal, external crisis in the United States, the Chinese increased the debt that they're holding, the U.S. debt in the bond area, by $7.2 billion. And I'm thinking to myself, are the Chinese, do they know something we don't know, or why would they suddenly, during a crisis, jump in there and buy
Still,
some
you know,
more of
full
our
faith
stuff?
and
They
credit
must
of the
be
United
hacking into
States.
our phones.
Yeah.
Could be.
Well,
It's all
do
has
these
to do
guys
with.
have a newspaper business?
You know, the most amazing thing about all this, though, the United States affecting the world crisis and everyone on the threshold of economic ruin,
Sure.
the only place in the entire world that's immune from all that is the city of Bowie.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
That's
Yeah,
true.
Which
Oh,
looks like an oasis.
and
That's right.
wait a minute.
You know what?
And
You know what?
Houston,
It's- by the
Texas.
end of next week, Bowie may have a better bond rating than the United States
They may make
government.
some
I'm sure
loans to
they
the federal
could.
government.
It's it.
Let's see.
We'll be able to do that, like a 30% interest.
Right.
The town that's really prospering is Houston, Texas. And they're talking about a retirement for people. People are moving there, the older people, to retire in droves, a number of them. And the reasons why: no state income tax,
No sales
housing, jobs.
No state government.
And well, that's true, but
Well,
all of that.
But the big
is,
number about Texas
really
that people want to pay
approaching
attention
them.
to is that in the last 3 years, of all the jobs created in the United States, 37% of them have been in Texas.
Sure, 300,000.
And now Governor Rick Perry is going to use that to run for
She's going to
president.
become the president.
Yeah.
You bet.
I
or
mean,
try.
and he has a very compelling story. But the weird thing about being the governor of Texas is your entire cabinet is separately and independently elected. So you don't have much to do. So all he does do is call the CEOs of these companies saying, "Come to Texas."
get
And does,
ready.
he
we
does a
won't
good
tax you,"
job
and
of
it's
it.
worked very well.
But you know what? If you look at the role of the chief executive, I mean, some states are like that. I mean, they have stolen an incredible amount, and using the word stolen charitably, they have brought an incredible amount of economic development out of California and into Texas because of the tax differential. Same thing is happening in Illinois and in Michigan. Caterpillar, an engine in Illinois last week, or a while back, said that they are seriously considering moving out of Illinois. That's 100,000 jobs that will walk out of the state of Illinois because, for one reason, and that is the high tax rates in Illinois that don't even next door in Michigan. They could just move across the line. And Michigan is not a low tax thing, but it's half of what they're paying in Illinois. And
Well-
who knows? Detroit might recover.
They are.
I think enough of that. The next question, another thing that is all over the papers today was that the Jack Johnson and Leslie Johnson problem seem to now be opening up more. That 4 or 5 other people were mentioned in the article about corruption in Prince George's County and the pay to play and so on and so forth. And the mayor was talking about the couple of hundred acres around the Greenbelt Metro that has been up for grabs, and the people that I think that were involved in this corruption are also involved in that area, and it seems to me that there'll be a number of other people that could easily be captured in this thing. They mentioned 4. The one, Grasnow is a
Granzo.
Granzo is a retired, not retired. He's a former deputy fire chief.
Yeah, he's retired.
And
from the
Ricker and Carlton, and you wonder who else is looking at the Greenbelt property to develop it. And there's millions of dollars, I think, involved in that whole setup.
It's very sad.
county.
It's very
It is.
sad.
But that's been the rumor that's floating around for the last year or so, that one of the areas where the feds were most focusing their attention was the Greenbelt Metro thing. And you know, in a way you can certainly understand, because there was some major rezonings there, some changes in land use proposal, all of which just kind of throw the cloud of suspicion over everything, given all the things that have happened over the last year or two. The sad part about it is there are probably some really, you know, some straightforward people both in Greenbelt and around that are trying to do some solid economic development in their area. And there's always going to be somebody that's looking for a way to make a quick buck and is not encumbered by ethics or adherence to the law, and is going to try to take advantage. At the end of the day, I think you're absolutely right. There's going to be some more shoes to fall. But it's just amazing that we've been talking about this for a year, and every time we have a conversation, or every time you pick up the paper, it's odd that it's that one particular area that seems to get at least a passing mention in every story.
In the paper, another name dropped, and it may have been out there. You people might have known it, but the guy, another Johnson, who works for the county in the housing, I guess, and the zoning area, and he also evidently was involved in the Johnson
Well, the
thing.
director of housing.
Well,
left
maybe
too,
he's the director of housing.
Named James Johnson.
Yes, okay.
No
And-
relation.
Oh,
not
no,
related.
but he then he surfaced in today's paper, his name came to bear,
He
and I
pled
was
guilty
thinking,
too.
yeah, how far does it reach in terms of into the public service sector?
Well, I mean, you look at those charging documents, there are a lot of people who they're referred to there by initials or by terms who the shoe hasn't dropped on them yet. And so, yeah, there's going to be more. And so as our county executive tries going forward with the new era of government, he's constantly has this
Yeah.
cloud that he's trying to disperse, and it's
Yeah, and
quite a
to me,
challenge.
that's the biggest, most sad part. You know, it is, everybody knows by now. I'm a Rashawn Baker fan. I think he's doing the right things, you know, and I've said he's the right guy at the right time at the right place. And I really am optimistic that he wants to move the county as far as it can go and it will go. But you know, you got to sit here wondering if he goes home at night and hits himself in the head with a hammer, because every time he moves forward 3 steps, something comes up and drags him back a step. And you know, it's got to be incredibly frustrating, because I think the guy really wants to do a good job. He wants to change the entire image of the county, and he wants to move forward. And
Fred
until
loves
his
him.
final shoes drop, you know, this is just going to be drip, drip, drip.
Fred loves him because he comes to Bowie and says nice things about Fred.
Well, that's true.
And I've
That shows
noticed
you how wise he
Fred
is.
pinching him when he's together with him on the dais. Say something nice about him.
Shows you how wise he really is.
But
That's
it's trouble, and it you know, it's the process of, it's going to take forever to have the image really restored, a kind of an image that we would be a player, a decent player playing by the legal terms of any game in the county. He
You know,
does have a
there's
job.
one sure way of fixing that, and that is to take a major component of the county, like the city of Bowie, and transfer land use decision-making authority to them.
Oh, I
And
agree.
takes that,
Excellent
whole,
idea.
that takes that whole problem away from the county.
Right.
I
It
agree.
saves them money, saves them time.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So that's 4-0. That was a
It
great
is.
vote.
We finally found something we can all agree on.
100%. That is wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, what are the chances of that ever happening?
Better now than they've been in a long time.
I think, yeah.
Because
I
of
think
return,
Yeah.
you think?
I think
Okay.
Mr. Baker is much more open to it than his predecessors have
Good.
been.
And in a few months, there'll be a new council member.
Yeah. Starting next month, I guess.
And Bowie has always been, what makes it difficult, I guess, for the county, is that Bowie has always been kind of the cash cow for the county in general. So to give us the right to have our usage of our own zoning would be a tremendous thing. In some way, you'd have to figure out how we would still share with the other cities or municipalities in the county, with the Park Planning Commission, where we jack them with big bucks in taxes. None of it, or some of it, comes back to Bowie. Most of it is spread out in the other communities. And you would have to figure out a way.
Well, there is a way. I mean,
Play
you know,
that
we have
game.
the perfect template there. We have the differential tax legislation that allows the county to, or directs that the county actually reduce the levy on city residents when the city provides that service. That same template could move easily, you know, to park and planning and say that, you know, use the same arithmetic, same process, and same everything. But there's too many special interests wrapped up in that organization that this is one of those things that history has never shown me a tyrant that's given up power peacefully.
But
So
it has a new chairman who lives in Bowie.
Bowie,
Yeah, it's
Who
true.
works for our new county executive.
Yep.
And,
I think the opportunities are better than they have been.
When do you present that to the county in terms of a position of the city?
It'll
of
require
Bowie?
anything will require state legislation.
State legislature. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because the park and planning is a creation of the state.
but that has to be submitted by September, and it's almost August. And
Oh, so
here we
it's
are.
getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost August 2nd, when we're all set with our new deputy.
Yeah, maybe by August 2nd it'll be an irrelevant
It won't
issue.
matter, yeah.
Yeah, because the world will collapse and.
Anything you want to tell us about the chamber? How your goals are, where you're going? We have a few minutes left.
Sure, we have a new business development committee that's going to start Bowie Business Boot Camp, giving useful lessons to folks who need a little bit of help in getting their business going in Bowie. We have a membership development committee that's out there to try and really expand our membership. We have 250 members, 12 new ones in the past month. We want to expand to the whole 1,200 members businesses in Bowie. And I think very importantly, we have a new a corporate citizenship committee that's going to partner with the YMCA and the Food Pantry and Special Olympics, other charities in Bowie, to make sure that corporations and businesses in Bowie give their fair share in both monetary and volunteer resources. So I think it's going to be an exciting year,
good.
and
Oh,
we've got a
great.
great board, and
Great.
we have a board retreat on Thursday, and we're going to go forward.
Yeah,
Good.
and the other thing is this. I'm sorry.
I was just, on the community college.
Great new exciting things going on in the college, and Prince George's has the first middle college concept in the state of Maryland, where a student can do high school and college courses at the same time,
Great.
get credit. New and
That's
exciting, and hopefully one day we'll get the president of the college out to
Oh,
speak.
That's
Good.
a good idea.
All right, Fred, you got like seconds. But go
Well,
ahead. What's new?
Well, Bowie still has that same standard. We divide the world into two groups: people who live here and people that should. And I just feel sorry for the people who don't live here. It's a great place.
It is. That's true. I agree. Okay.
And as I said at the beginning of the show, it's quite possible at the end of this month, Bowie's bond rating may be better than that of the United States government.
If Murdoch came to you, would you help him with
Absolutely.
city
I'm
money?
a big fan of
You
Rupert
would,
Murdoch.
you would
Yeah, we're
give him
close.
some change. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you all. Thank you everyone for watching. I think that Talk of the Town, again, as what I always call it, a display of knowledge on the people that sit around this table, which is, by the way, it's a brand new table, to have a core of things that we're working on here to make the set look better. So good night and good luck. Stay out of the heat.